Welcome back. Next little lesson on pentatonic ideas. What I want to talk to you about today is the idea of pentatonic substitutions, or superimposing pentatonics on different root notes. So many of you may completely be familiar with this concept, but for those of you who aren't, I will demonstrate thus. So let's just talk about firstly a modal kind of setting. All right, so we could talk in terms of A minor pentatonic. Okay, so you can play that over an A minor 7th chord, and you'd definitely get, again, I'll put chords underneath this. Okay, so if you wanted to play a pentatonic scale that was not A minor but gave you more harmonic variation, you can adjust one note. And if you take the C down to a B, that gives you an E minor pentatonic. So over that chord, you could play, or we could do it in the same position here, assuming that you know all your 5 different permutations of the scale. Okay, if we want to go one step further, we then take what was the 7th in A minor and move that down a semitone to an F sharp, giving us the Dorian sound. And also, and what you end up with is a B minor pentatonic, basically. So let me just play some stuff utilising A minor, E minor, and B minor, and you'll hear that against an A minor scale. Here we go. Let's put a click on to make some rhythmic sense of it all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna go for the E minor. Go for B minor. Back to the end there. I know this is something that Scott Henderson talks about in one of his 1980s videos, I seem to recall, if my memory serves me correctly. But it's worth revisiting, just when we're talking about superimposing the new pentatonics onto like a vamp. Now, you can obviously apply this to your changes playing as well. So I was talking in a previous video about running the open interval scale pattern over all the things you are. You can still play. Let's stick with all the things you are. You could play all your. You could superimpose stuff if you wanted. You've got your F minor pentatonic. Let's do it here. Not even going across the strings, but you can do the. Down to the B flat minor, so you're taking like the same. You could do like the same pattern and go. That's fairly self-explanatory. I think once you've got the idea of superimposing these on a vamp, you know, when you're playing just diatonic minor 7th chords and major 7th chords, you know, it's obvious. Bear in mind that when you're playing major 7th chords, like A flat major 7th, which is the relative major of F minor. In F minor, we were talking about using C minor. You can obviously use the C minor on A flat because that gives you your major 7th. Having that C minor, or you can think of it as E flat major if you so desire. And you can also do the things where let's go for the Lydian sound, put a B flat major over that. Okay, so that's reasonably self-explanatory as if you've got the idea of your minor substitutions. I guess we could go back and say that if you were vamping over the relative major of A minor, you could use E minor, the major seventh, or Lydian sound. Okay. Right. One other substitution that I want to talk about, and there are many things you can do, and you can do different types of pentatonic scales as well. There's not, there isn't just one type. But if you wanted to stick with a pentatonic thing and you were going over changes, like the things you are, let's talk about those first few bars. When you get to the dominant chord, E flat seventh, if you want to turn that into an altered sound, sharp 5, sharp 9, go a augmented fourth, tritone away. So in this case, E flat seventh, you're going to play an A pentatonic, a major pentatonic. So you get that scale over that root note. So I'll play the scale, but I'll stick an E flat seventh chord underneath it. Now let's put a click on and just maybe I'll play strictly home pentatonics, but I will play that A major pentatonic at the point that the E flat chord happens. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you can hear the tension is there, but I just played a straight pentatonic thing. There was nothing. There were no. I wasn't thinking in terms of alterations of like sharp 9, flat 5, those sorts of things. I was just thinking A. So that's something else you can try out with your pentatonic substitutions. Okay, hope you enjoyed that one. See you soon.